This is a collective reading. I haven't done a collective reading in the longest time. I haven't done a collective reading in a long while. So let's just jump in and see what we get. I see someone here that is trying to fit in. And in trying to fit in, they're actually ignoring their intuition or silencing their intuition. Trying to be something that you are not will end up in you losing who you are. Do you understand? It's a waste of who you are. When you are pretending, or when you are trying to pretend, if you are trying to be someone that you are not, okay, it's a waste of who you are. Do you understand? So you're sacrificing yourself to be something or someone that you are not. So I see someone here whether this is you or it's about someone that is in your energy. I see someone here that is trying to fit in, trying to be loved, trying to be cherished, and you know, I call this trying too hard, okay? Because if you are being, or if you are pretending, or if you are trying to be someone else, something else than yourself, I consider that trying too hard, okay? So I'm just gonna call it as it is. This person is trying too hard to fit in, whether with a partner, a group of friends, or in a workplace, or within the family. And it's actually chipping away of who they truly are. And disconnecting them from their higher self, disconnecting them from their own intuition, disconnecting them from their inner guidance. That is a lot to sacrifice to be someone that you are not. Like, it's not a good trade. We have the Tower. This is not going to last long. The further you try to stretch yourself out of the path that you're supposed to be on, the harder the pull will get. The Tower here indicating that, hey, you know, if you keep on trying to be something that you are not, trying to be someone else, there will be like a strong bounce back. And the Tower here saying, like, we're gonna force you back. Whatever that you're trying to accomplish, it's going to backfire. Maybe not necessarily on the people that are around you, but there is something that within you, or something that within this person will be like a shock element that you feel like you're gonna have to go back in order to find your way back to yourself. Do you know what I mean? You know, when you sometimes go into the forest and you are like, oh, that's an interesting off-trail little adventure. And then you keep going, and you lose your sight of the trail. Then you start to freak out maybe. And you're like, shit, I have to find my way back. I've gone too far in. Or you could hear like something in the distance where you hear like someone or an animal, or you freak out, you know, like a shake-up. And then you're like, I have to go back. So this Tower, it's a shake-up for you to revert back to your original path. The disconnect with the intuition is actually dangerous because like usually when you do something and you're not quite sure if this is something you're supposed to do, your intuition will kick in and tell you like, yeah, this is something you're supposed to do, or this is something you're not supposed to do. That's the point of the intuition. That's the point of the higher self. You know, the higher self is not limited by the brain because the higher self is all-knowing, right? It has a better vision. It's kind of like a watchtower. You know, the watchtower. When you have the watchtower, you have complete vision. Imagine the higher self as the watchtower. You see everything inside. So you have a better perspective on things. But the person that is not in the watchtower is you, doing the doing, you know, the adventuring, the living. So the disconnect from the higher self, from your intuition, is not a good thing. You need to find a way to reconnect with that intuition, with that higher self. Because I see that you are either consciously blocking them or subconsciously blocking them. Now, if you are subconsciously blocking this, maybe meditation, journaling will help. Revert, give yourself a voice. Because if you've been silencing your voice, your inner guidance for too long, it starts to be so faint that you don't hear it, or so silent that obviously you don't hear that, right? So you need to kind of do more solitude sessions, you know? And when I say solitude sessions, I'm not talking about going on your phone alone in your room or in your house, going through your phone, because that's also a distraction. I'm talking about like sitting there. And you could probably experience no voices, meaning that there is no inner voice, you know, there are no thought process. You're just sitting there. Sit a little longer. It will come. Maybe it's a little bit rusty. Maybe you've been ignoring it, you know, something that you don't use becomes useless over time, right? Imagine you don't use this hand, and there's actually a guy in India where he was raising his hand in protest, and slowly the life of his arm just drained. It became almost like a wood. And his whole life, you know, eating, sleeping, sitting, whatever, his hand was risen like this. And the life just drained out of it because there was no use for the arm. And it literally became wooden, lifeless. And it feels like this inner voice, you will have to kind of like shake your arm, you know, let's say this example that I gave you, you know, shake your arm, like make the blood circulate again for it to be used again. So this inner voice needs circulation. It needs patience, it needs reconnection. And the people that you're trying to please, again, when I'm addressing you, I'm just addressing this person that I'm connecting to, okay? Whether you are watching this for yourself or watching this about someone that you have in your life. But I just want to say, for the people that you're trying to please, remember this. You do not have to try too hard to please the people around you if they are meant to be in your life. When you have to try hard to keep someone or some people in your life, it is just literally telling you that these people don't belong in your life. And I don't care if that means that you will end up alone. It is better to be alone and authentic than to be with the wrong people and lose yourself. I mean, to me, that's logical. But some people have so many fears that it cripples them into thinking that I have to become something that I'm not, sacrifice myself in order to be accepted and loved. But even this love that you are receiving from these people that you are pretending with, the love that you are receiving is not genuine because they don't love you. They love a pretentious version of you that doesn't even exist. So even their love is not real because they're giving that love to an unreal version of you. Do you understand? So there is nothing in the world that would convince me to say that it is worth sacrificing yourself for. So all the pretending that you have to do with these people around you should be an indication that these people are not meant to be in your life. You have to filter out the people that are not meant to be in your life so that you reconnect and find people that are meant to be in your life. How are you supposed to meet people that you're supposed to meet if you constantly have these spaces occupied with the wrong ones? You have to make space first. And if there is any fear attached to making space in your life, deal with those fears slowly, journal, reason with yourself. If the fear comes up, if it tells you, "Ooh, if you're gonna end up alone, you're gonna die alone," if these fears come up, just reason with yourself. It's like, okay, when I say reason, be the logical reasoner. For example, if someone says, or if your inner voice, or if you tell yourself, "Oh, if I don't act like this," or someone tells you, "If you don't act like this, you're gonna end up alone, or you're gonna die alone." Reason is like, if that were to happen, we are born alone and die alone. Very reasonable, right? It's like, okay, well, if that happens, which is the worst case scenario, we do die alone. It's a very individual experience. The human experience is a very individual, separated experience. And it's set up, designed like that, on purpose. Whoever that tells you that humans are social animals, they are not. They are not. That is the design, the human design, so that people people police each other. When people are in groups, they police each other. They keep each other accountable for their behavior. Now, I'm not telling you to be alone because, I truly believe I am someone that advocates for alone time, okay? But I'm not telling you that you have to be alone. I'm not telling you that you are meant to live life on your own. I'm not saying that. Socializing is great. Being with a partner, love it. But if it actually costs you yourself, it is not worth it. Do you understand the difference? If you meet people that are aligned with you, if you meet people that are, people that can be, that can add something to your life, that can stimulate you mentally, emotionally, intellectually, perfect. These are the type of people that you keep in your life. But if you are trying to be someone you're not, so that you please and appease others, we're not going to do that. Don't do that, okay? Because there is nothing that is worth you sacrificing yourself for just a person or a group of friends or certain standards that you don't really identify with. There's a difference. Do you understand? This is why I say make space for people that are actually aligned with you, rather than breaking your back over people that don't even matter. Because whatever love and whatever acceptance that you receive from these people for pretending, they're not actually loving you. They're loving a lie of you. They're loving like a ghost. It's not who you are. In a way, when people are loved for being someone else, secretly, or at least subconsciously, there is resentment towards those people. Because you have to pretend in order to be loved, and you don't even love me. You don't even know me. Like, imagine hearing a partner or someone like a friend or a family member even. They could tell you, "I love you." But then you say to yourself, "You don't even know me. I'm pretending," and you love that pretending. You love that pretense. You love that pretending version of me. You don't even love me. You don't even know me. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So this pretending needs to stop. Now, if this is a person that you are dealing with, maybe you can send them this reading. Or if you think that you know this person very well, maybe they're not pretending. So do keep that in mind. So for example, if you watch this reading and you're like, oh my God, that's the person that I'm dealing with. They're always pretending. Maybe they're not. Maybe that's what you think though, right? So when you send this reading to someone, it's at your own risk. Because it might start drama. It's like, what do you mean I'm not pretending? What the fuck? So be careful. Unless you are 100% sure. Or it's kind of like giving you a glimpse into this person's psyche. This person's trying too hard lifestyle. Maybe it's just to make you understand. Not to change, but to understand there's a difference. Or you can be like, if this is someone you're dealing with and you know that they're pretending to fit in, you can be the wise person for this person. You can be the safe space for this person. You can be like, hey, listen, I don't mean to call you out on whatever that you're doing, but I just want you to know that I am someone that you can be yourself with without having to worry about impressing me, without having to worry about what I might think of you. I want to see the real you, just encourage them to slowly come out of their pretending shell. Maybe this person was raised in a way where they're constantly having to change themselves. They're constantly having to pretend that they are enjoying something, or otherwise they are ungrateful. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why this is giving me an example of a strict parent with a child. When parents sometimes are like, oh, you're so ungrateful, I've done this and this for you. And they force the child to do something that they don't want to do, or eat something that they don't want to eat. Or it's something like that. And then the child becomes so fucked up as an adult because they think they have to keep on pleasing others in order to show gratitude. I don't know why I got this example. So maybe this is like a parent and a child scenario. Who knows? Whether you are watching this as a parent or watching this as the child. When I say child, I'm not talking about a 10-year-old. I mean, you are the child of your parent, however old you are. This cycle needs to break. I feel like this person needs to break this cycle. So if this is you, you need to sit with yourself a little bit. Actually, not a little bit, a lot. Because you need to give power to your inner voice again and reconnect to your intuition. So this feels like you need to sit with yourself and be like, you know what? Enough is enough. I have given so much time, effort. I've given myself to other people all the time, or a lot. It stops now. I'm going to change. I'm going to create strong boundaries. I'm going to give myself more love. I'm going to prioritize myself. I come first now. When people talk about their villain era, the villain era is more about creating boundaries, loving yourself more. And it's not about hurting others. A lot of people think it's the villain thing to do when you actually prioritize yourself and just love yourself and have strong boundaries. That's not villain. It's actually what people say it's villain, because loving yourself is not normal these days. It's selfish, apparently. or narcissistic even. Like, you know how many people, you know how many people abuse the term narcissism because someone will prioritize themselves and have strong boundaries? Everybody is a narcissist these days because someone has strong boundaries. So you need to kind of detach yourself from making others understand why you're doing the things that you're doing, and only care about making yourself understand why it's important for you to do what you are doing. The boundaries you set, the prioritizing of the self, that needs to make sense to you alone. If other people get it, perfect, they are aligned with you. If they don't, they need to go. How else will you know who belongs in your life or who doesn't? By how the interaction feels. Does it feel authentic? No? Bye. Authentic? Yes? Come in. The cycle needs to be broken. Otherwise, it will go round and round and round we go. And if you are wondering, why can't I find people that will love me for who I am? Why do I have to always pretend to be someone else for people to love me? Because the cycle is in rotation. You need to be the one that breaks that cycle, not others. You will not see someone telling you, hey, you don't have to pretend with me. I mean, it would be nice if you have someone like that, but that's less likely. You are the one that has to change for you to change your environment or the people that you interact with in your environment, not vice versa. And then, once that clicks in your head, your life will change. Okay, the sun is here. You have to only make sense to you. Live by that. It doesn't matter if people misunderstand. It doesn't matter if people are projecting. It doesn't matter if people are expecting too much of you or too little of you. Whatever. That's just like noise, right? What is happening within you, you cannot escape yourself. So you need to befriend yourself. You need to be on good terms with yourself. You need to be in a strong partnership with your inner voice and higher self. That's what matters most. Because you can change people, but you cannot escape yourself. You are your forever. You are your forever companion. So befriend yourself. Don't be trying to be the friend that is like, oh, I don't want to take you to my friends because you're embarrassing. So stay home. You need to develop yourself to the point where you are proud of yourself. And how do you do that? You connect with your inner voice. You align yourself with your authenticity. You do the things that make you feel good. You don't do things that make others feel good on your expense. It is okay to, give love when you have your cup full and flowing. But if you give love from an empty cup, that's self-sacrifice. And no one is worth it. Never give the love that you don't have. Never give love from a place of emptiness, from a place of feeling unwanted, from a place of feeling like you're not being yourself and you have to pretend. Okay? This reading is possibly for people that have, like, this energy is for people that have Scorpio, Sagittarius, Leo, possibly air signs as well. Okay, because we do have a lot of air. that's what I have for you. Hope you enjoyed the collective. Let me know if you want me to do more collectives. I have stopped. I don't know why, but at some point I stopped doing collectives. Maybe because I started doing like collective readings on TikTok. But anyways, I think I'm gonna reintroduce the collective readings. I haven't done one in a while. Alright, we'll see you later.